What's up, my PT peeps? Brian back to talk about The Walking Dead Season 7 discussion, and Lauren Cohan says Maggie seeks vengeance. Spoiler warning if you don't know any of this information or don't want to know about Season 7. General spoiler warnings about The Walking Dead comic book TV show going on. So spoiler warning ahead, stop watching now if you don't want to know. Comicbook.com article, we'll put the link in the description if you want to check out more of it. We surmised a lot of the good parts of the article for you guys on there too, and here we go. Negan gives Maggie vengeance, and I don't think that she's a vengeful person, but it's going to be a really interesting push and pull this season. Go ahead and tell us entertainmentweekly.com. You'll see how she lives in honor of Glenn and in vengeance of Negan, and it's a real war in her brain and in protection of the baby. I really like the fact that Glenn says, "I'll find you," because she takes him with her. It's difficult to even encapsulate the grief like that. So it's terrible. I mean, if you know the Season 7 premiere, she had it pretty terribly to watch Glenn get his head bashed in and him trying to talk to her, and it was really tough to watch. And then at the end, she says, "You got to get up and fight them and go," and she's the only one kind of saying, "We're going against these saviors." The grief could lead to Maggie carrying the spirit of Glenn with her through her journey. It may also propel her to be more violent than she has been in recent episodes, as she was left out of some of the missions with Rick and the group shielding her because of the pregnancy. And I could see her being, more violent, zero tolerance and whatever, and I could understand that totally. I mean, she's been through a lot. She's lost everyone in her freaking family, and now Glenn, and it's terrible to see that too. So Maggie's going to be a definitely stronger character going forward. She broke down at New York Comic Con about a month ago now, I guess it was. But, it's tough to say, man. Maggie's been through a lot. Negan already sees that Maggie has submitted in a way because she's so physically crippled. And I think that once the worst has happened, then that surge of adrenaline comes and there's nothing she can do. And there's nothing left to do, Cohen said. There's no worst case scenario now, but what Negan's actions do to Maggie is light this crazy fuse. And we'll see that burn pretty strong. So, yeah, Negan's going to underestimate Maggie because she was so physically crippled, but Maggie's strong, that's for damn sure. There are some great moments from the comic books that we're going to get a chance to experience. Nick Otero, the executive producer, said, "To me, it feels like we may be a little closer in nature to certain beats in the graphic novel than we have in the past, but that could just be my interpretation on it." I think they are. I think he's saving his ass by saying that interpretation of it. Assuming Nick Otero is not sending a smokescreen, and if the show continues to follow the comics, viewers could expect The Walking Dead to find a way to be more brutal than ever before. So I think they're going to follow the comics a lot this season because it's a strong season in the comics, and I think they're going to for sure. For those who know the comic, will know what the future holds for Maggie at the hilltop and going forward. As for Maggie's evolution, it goes one step further and she becomes a leader of people. Currently, Hilltop leader Gregory has already been portrayed on the screen as a coward and one to negotiate his survival versus fight for it, with a motivated Maggie who has developed some diplomatic skills to go with her likable personality and pragmatic fighting style. The transition time for her climb may be accelerated, so we might get Hilltop badass Maggie a little sooner than later. I would love to see that at the end of Season 7, early Season 8, to see if they accelerate that too with Maggie versus Gregory, and Gregory's a coward and whatever. I'm tired of that guy. He can go, that's for sure. There's a lot of anger ahead in this road for the group, and it's a very complex season, Cohen said. This fallout now is so heavy. It's really rich in the places that we see everyone go and the world everybody's going into and how they're dealing with losing Glenn and Abraham. It's the linchpin. I mean, there's been so much loss to this point, and this is just the entire house of cards. So we'll see how it plays out in the rest of the season, and really in the Season 8 and beyond. I mean, Maggie should be around for a long, long time. I see her being a strong asset on the show, the group, eventually taking over Hilltop in there too. I don't know when they're going to do that, but I would love to be sooner than later. Maggie's had it rough. I think she's had it the worst than anybody on the show by far, losing her dad, her sister, her husband. And it's just crazy to think that what else could she lose? I mean, geez, hopefully not the baby. But going forward, Season 7, Episode 1, broke me down when Maggie was saying this at the end, and when Rick tried to help Glenn, get him up, saying he's our family too, and it was just a tough thing to see. This is your family, Walking Dead family, that's us, all of us too. Maggie's going to have Sasha to help her out, which she's going to need. She's going to need help. She's going to need her assets. She's going to need her group. She's going to need everyone to come together, and so will Rick. But Maggie is definitely going to need, Jesus and Sasha and everyone around there to kind of come to her. She is a badass, don't get me wrong. At the prison, you see her. I just love this picture of her too. I think big things are coming from Maggie Greene. Don't mess with Maggie Greene and her baby. So we'll see what happens going forward with Maggie at the Hilltop in Season 7 and beyond. But what do you think? Do you think Maggie becomes stronger? She gets kind of crazy with vengeance? She gets ready to take out Negan right away? Or what? So post your comments, guys. Let us know. Here she is at Walker Stalker Atlanta that just passed. She's looking good as always. So like, share, subscribe. Subscribe to the channel to get more videos. You guys are awesome. And thank you for watching, guys.